Hello and welcome to GPTV on Tuesday the 19th of November. My name's Philip Kingston.
And I'm Gary Peer.
And Gary, unbelievable is all I can say. Absolutely unbelievable.
It was a very big weekend, Philip Kingston, wasn't it? We sold 17 of our 19 auctions, and that's a clearance rate of...
Well, before we talk about the clearance rate, Gary, because I was at a party last night.
Oh, you're such a party boy.
Actually, I was at a party last night, and I bumped into our resident statistician.
Statistician?
A statistician?
No, statistician.
Statistician. Anyway, I bumped into him last night at a party. Ashley, hello Ashley, glad to see you watching. Hope you're watching.
Yeah.
And I said to Ashley, we actually sold 17 out of 19,
yes.
Which gave us a clearance rate of 89.4, no, 0.45%. And I said, Ashley, can we round that up to 90%?
Yes.
And he said, technically no. So we only had an
89.4% clearance. But the industry standard, this...
70%, 71.
So
and
you put up those towers.
They think it'll be scaled back to 69 once all the final figures come through. So
I
put up those towers.
You put
them
up
at 70%.
And I like the disproportion of those towers because we're only a little bit better than the market. Well, we are actually a lot better than the market, but the towers make it look like we're doing double as well.
Well, we should. Yeah. We want low towers for the 70% and high towers.
Yeah, exactly. We want
it all out of proportion.
Yeah, exactly right. But that is a very, very good weekend. We can be proud of Philip. And we were selling everywhere. We were in 11 suburbs. We went crazy.
19 auctions across 11 suburbs, and we sold from Camberwell to Caulfield South,
to Hampton East,
to St Kilda East, to Hampton East,
to Paran. Let's talk about the results.
It was very exciting, Gary.
It was
very exciting.
A lot of them are undisclosed, unfortunately. That is the wishes of our vendors, but we'll tell you about the ones that we can because Philip, one of the ones that is undisclosed is in Chomley Street, but you sold that.
Well, I think you need to speed up a little bit, Gary, because we've got a lot to get through. 10:30 in Chomley Street, one of my favourite streets because it runs straight into Spoonful, one of the best cafes on the planet. And we had two parties that started a post-auction negotiation, and we got it sold quite well, actually.
We did, Philip. Hawthorn Road, 2 at $2.99. Hawthorn Road, Philip.
Apparently, Leor Samuel sold that brilliantly well.
He did, and it was undisclosed. Neville Street, Carnegie, Phil, that one's okay to talk about. It's not undisclosed. The reserve was $650,000, and it was sold by you, I think.
It was, and
$689,000. Just in case you didn't remember.
I didn't remember.
Bit of dementia at this stage
but
of life.
I can say it was a competitive auction. Two parties went hammer and tong and got stuck into it. It's great property, actually. Philip. And by the way, viewers, if you're thinking about investing and want to know about a suburb that's doing really well, Carnegie, one of my favourite suburbs, Carnegie, Glen Huntly, still plenty of growth there. I think it's still massively undervalued.
And I reckon Hampton East is a little undervalued, Philip, because I did an auction in Oswald Thomas Avenue where the reserve was $750,000 at the top of our range, which I dare say would have reduced if it needed to be, would have been brought down. But lo and behold, Philip, there were four bidders going hammer and tong, sold it for $827,000, but I reckon that's pretty good value still for a home freestanding on land just across the road.
Well done to Daniel Reese there because that was his listing, and well done Daniel because that was a great sale.
Orange Grove is not undisclosed, Philip. We sold an apartment there for $257,500.
And that's kind of interesting, Gary, so that people can know that even in the heart of one of Melbourne's best suburbs, which is East St Kilda, Orange Grove, great street, runs into Carlisle Street. There's park in the street, all of the ingredients for good real estate buying, and who would have thought that you can still buy things under $300,000? So interesting.
Phil, one of the properties that is undisclosed, sadly, was an auction that I happened to meet up with you at, and that was on my way back or through from Hampton East, and that was in Robinson Street in Brighton East. Lila Road, Carnegie, Phil, you went there from East Brighton, sold that well, an undisclosed amount, but a pretty popular property, I believe. Is that right? It was
great, and there we are again in Carnegie, Gary, talking about it being a great suburb. That was a corner block, a subdivision, one of two, but it was its own two-street frontage, and we sold that well. Is that undisclosed or not undisclosed?
It is. Sunday, Phil, I started off in Pentle Road with Adam Joski and
team.
But
before you do that, I just want to boast. Do you mind if I boast, Gary?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm going
to... No, you're not. Pentle Road, Philip,
I still want to boast about my Sunday.
Shut up. Pentle Road sold on Sunday. It was very competitive. The reserve there was $730. We sold it for $811. I did the auction there, Phil.
Yeah, you can boast.
And I did all right. You were in Wilgar Street, Philip. I don't believe that's undisclosed.
Is that not undisclosed?
Well, it's not undisclosed.
I have to tell you, first of all, Wilgar Street's a great street in East St Kilda,
and
I love East St Kilda. And Wilgar Street, this is about the 9th property we've sold in the last 10 months. So we love Wilgar Street. Yeah. Anybody think there's a freeway going through how many properties we've sold? There is not a freeway going through.
It's a great
But I want to say, first of all, on the high side side of the street.
Yep.
Really beautifully renovated house, and congratulations to the vendors who did it themselves. Did a great job. Sold for $1,670,000.
Thank you.
So far over the reserve, and no doubt when I sell it in a couple of years' time, we will get close to $1.8 million.
You okay now? It was a great result. 738 Inkerman is undisclosed, Phil, but it did sell well. 6 at 271 Balaclava Road, Philip. The other side of the park.
Yeah, it's
that
funny
was
because
bid.
I'm literally doing the auction on the corner of Mayfield Grove and Inkerman, which is directly opposite the park. If I had have walked straight across the park, I would have bumped into your auction on the corner of Service Street. And
that's funny.
And well, it's probably not funny, but
no, you found it funny.
What, this time of year I'm looking for tidbits of information that might fascinate the viewers, Gary. That's not one of them.
Is that it? Can I go?
You can.
Okay, 6 at 271 Balaclava Road was a terrific apartment, Philip. There was many bidders, 6 of them. And in fact,
6 bidders?
And in fact, you know what happened there?
Goes to show
I haven't
the depth
seen
of
it.
the market,
I
doesn't
actually found it hard to keep it together because the underbidder started crying during the auction, which I haven't seen before. My heart poured out to that buyer. Yeah, fair income was crying. But look, it did sell for 606. It was a popular property.
Kind, compassionate person.
No, I felt terrible, but what can I do? You know, that's the auction system. Sometimes properties are sought after. The reserve there, Phil, was $530,000, and dare say again, it would have dropped. Needed to, and the first bid was $520. Wow. It just kept on going.
What did that sell for?
606, Phil.
Wow.
Philip, 460 Hawthorn Road, Caulfield South.
Well, so I'd really like to say hello to the Bird family because they are wonderful people, and that's the third property I've sold for the family. Price is undisclosed, but what lovely people. And the first bid at the auction was almost at the reserve price. We didn't refer the bid, it just sailed on very quickly. We got them a great price, and I'm rapt to have got them a great price because they're lovely. Hello again. 360
Estar Road, Philip, that sold well. I came and saw you at auction. You did a damn fine auction. We had, I think, 4 bidders there, and it sold well in excess of reserve, about 10% over, I think. Then Jupiter Street, Phil. I had a spotted lunch when you went over there. Off the planet. How did Jupiter go? It's undisclosed.
I've got to tell you. So some funny things happened at that auction, Gary. Let's explore this. Now, I know that a few episodes ago, I had said I've done about 10,000 auctions, and you had corrected me, but we have established that it's somewhere in excess of 5,000 auctions.
You're in your first 10,000 anyway.
So the reality is, when you've done as many auctions as I have, you've heard every story under the sun. And some buyers go to auctions and think by asking a curly question that might put the crowd off. Now, and the funny part of rattle the auctioneer. So I've heard every question. You know, the old asbestos question, the flood question, the termite question. You know, we've heard them all. So this lovely guy, just as I start talking, says, "I want to ask a question." And I said to him, well, I'll come back to you. I'm not taking questions at the moment. And one of our team went over and supposedly answered his question. Then I go through the spiel and another person asks a question. And it's the flood question. And I've got to tell you, I love the flood question.
What's the question?
Well, the question is, can you tell me we're in a flood zone and the implications of that on the property? Now, these questions are always designed to put other buyers off. The only difference here is that, you know, if you think about it, Caulfield South, we've been working in the area for 30 years. I'm not sure how many floods I've seen in that time, although it's technically possible, although we were on a hill. So Jupiter Street's on a hill.
Phil, Wingan Street, Wingan Avenue in Camberwell, the price undisclosed, but we went off to Camberwell on a Sunday afternoon, and what a well-mannered crowd of buyers. We have fun in Camberwell. I was whispering while you were reading out the auction, and I felt it was definitely not like, you know, in Caulfield and surrounds.
I've got to tell you, the funny part about that was that,
was so well
there was about 150 people at that auction.
And we don't do a lot of auctions in Camberwell on Sundays.
On a Sunday, and the joy was when I got up to do the spiel, 150 people were completely silent. And just listened to me from start to finish.
I couldn't understand what was going on.
The funny part about that is I get to my auction at 5:30 in Caulfield, and there's 150 people there too, except the noise is unbelievable because everybody knows each other. And that's kind of an interesting thing when you think about it, is that in Caulfield, everybody tends to know each other.
A bit more that way,
right? And in Camberwell, I suppose, there's
different community.
It's a different community.
But certainly.
But I've got to tell you, how much did I love the fact that they listened to every word I had to say.
Did.
I actually felt quite important.
The further you go away, the more people will listen to you, it seems, because the ones that around here know you. Maybe that's why. We passed in Bickham's Court in St Kilda East, but hopefully that will get
That's the
sold.
only
There is an
property we
offer
passed in on Sunday. Yep.
And then 1 Canberra Grove was a 5:30 auction. We got out of there after 7 o'clock with a post-auction negotiation, undisclosed price. We were quoting in that sort of high 1s to 2 million.
And it's worthwhile talking about that because, look, great house, Canberra Grove, and great address. But so many times when we go to see a client and talk about an auction on a given day, and so we organise the day with the client, and then they say what time, and we look at our list. And from our point of view, we know that the time makes no difference. So we look at our list, and whatever the next available time slot is, we say, okay, you're at 11:30 or 1:30. And so many vendors will always ask us, oh, but I'm not sure about that time. You know, we'd rather have it in the morning because the buyers are fresh. And there'll be some people who say, I want it in the afternoon because the buyers might not be there in the morning. And then there'll be some people that say, oh, I don't want it at lunchtime. Now, we know time makes no difference.
That's right. What time?
Because we have them from 10:30 now to as late as 5:30. Now, 5:30 in the afternoon, you'd think that's about as late as there is.
And
successful
great
auction,
auction,
great crowd, great theatre, time makes no difference.
Now, I'm putting it out there. I don't reckon there is a harder working auctioneer in Melbourne than there was you on Sunday. You did 8 auctions on the hour.
This is the complimentary part, is it?
Well, you know, we've got lunch, and I don't want you to give me a hard time during lunch, or when I go to the bathroom, put some salt on my, food or anything like that. But Philip Kingston, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, 8 auctions.
8 auctions.
And quite frankly, I don't know. I do 4 or 5 in a day, and that's it for me. But 8 auctions, and you were still sparring afterwards. You were like a prize fighter. Bring me the next contender in the ring.
Do you know, I reckon, funnily
well
enough, I could have done a 6:30 auction.
Saturday, 10:30, Philip 40 East Boundary Road. I'm doing that auction. You know what? Have Saturday off. I'll do them all. 10 at 2 Younger Avenue in Caulfield South. There's been good interest in that property in that sort of $700,000 to $800,000 range.
Single-storey villa.
Looking forward to that. 2 at 163 Newington Road, Carnegie. Glenn Brick has been handling that. I'm looking forward to doing that one. Philip, on Sunday, you will be at 13 Newington Grove
Great
in
address.
Caulfield North.
Great
Fantastic
address.
address, substantial home. Been in the family for a long time, I understand. 2 at 17 Rosalie Street, Philip. That auction is going to be
Walking
10:30
distance to the
a.m.
tram
as
in
well.
Glen Huntley Road.
Phil,
and Princess Park.
2 at 1 Alpha Street goes up on, that's a fantastic property.
Great, that was built by Omnicom Constructions. I remember selling all 3 of them for them some years ago. Great
Sunday 11:30, Phil, one of 3 auctions we've got at that time. 2 at 1 Frederick Street also. Sunday 11:30, Leo Samuel handling it. And I am going to be doing the auction at 2 at 4 Testar Grove for Daniel Mickmucker and for Jeremy Rosens. And Daniel Mickmucker used to live in that place.
Yeah, what a great address that is. Great building too, fabulous apartment.
Look forward to that one. 12:34 at 555 Glen Huntley Road, Elstonwick. Jeremy Rosens handling, and Phil at 1 at 12:30. 1 at 11 Lumia Road. Is this a quality property? Or
yes, Harwich Homes, Harwich Constructions, or Harwich Homes, I think is the name of the company. Harwich Homes, and what a beautiful, beautiful apartment. Ground floor, one of only 2, penthouse style living, fabulous landscape gardens. Doesn't get any better than that, and a Lumia Road address. Probably, you know,
one of
the
the best
best
out there,
apartments in the best addresses, and it's irreplaceable.
You're not going to get better than that, Phil. I'm going to be in an apartment in Meadow Street at 1:30 p.m. auctioning that. That's going to be someone's good opportunity in that kind of high 3s, low 4s.
Great first home or
it's
investment.
It's going to be a good buy for somebody. Phil, 3 Service Street. That is one I think you're doing at 1:30.
Yeah, great address, fabulous address.
17 Elizabeth Street in Brighton East, Phil. That's going to be up on Sunday afternoon.
That is
at
a
2:30.
tremendous parcel of land, a really large parcel of land, Gary, in a great street. That's a house, tennis court, swimming pool site, subject to council approval, or a great development site, also subject to council approval.
I will be, while you're there, in Melby Avenue, a terrific, prestigious address in East St Kilda, Phil, just on the park there, at those wonderful gardens.
Leon Gusenfitter from our office is handling that.
Gusenfitter's there, and Green Meadows Park is just next door, Phil.
Yep, beautiful
I'll
park.
be there at 2:30. There's been a lot of interest in that one. And then it all finishes up in a big crescendo. We come together here, Philip, in Otira Road.
Yes.
Tell us about this home that we're at right now.
Gary,
have a look around.
Gary,
you.
this is not a house. This is Club Med in the heart of Caulfield
It's a
North.
palace, Phil.
Because, first of all, it's a huge block of land.
It is.
Secondly, it is the most incredible house with the most incredible entertaining areas. This al fresco area that we're sitting in, overlooking this lap pool just to my left, overlooking the cabana, come in-laws accommodation, come party house.
This is of the best.
This
Philip.
is really it doesn't. I mean, this is a truly international class home, and we love it, and I can't wait to auction it.
It is a AAA address and a magnificent home. Quality is the key, Philip. Right here in Otira Road. We're looking forward to seeing you there on Sunday.
And Gary, this coming weekend is the 4th last auction weekend for Melbourne. So as much as I love what we're doing, and as much as I love this real estate boom that we're in, and as much as I love spring, I'm starting to think about packing my bags for the holidays, Gary.
You just hold that thought till it's all over, Philip. As they say in racing, you ride your horse out to the line. Do you like that?
A racing term. There you go. Thank you very much for watching GPTV.
Our 99th episode.
99, is it? So the big 100 next week. So who would have ever thought we'd get there? Our 99th episode. Thanks for watching GPTV. My name's Philip Kingston. Have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching.
I'm Gary Pearce. See you next time. Bye.